Recording about what I have researched so far. Ignore all the tabs as I'm doing other school. But so far, I started off and I looked up food loss and wastes around America and how it affects us because you need some background information. So I tried to find some background information for myself, like how much food do we really waste all year? How much could we be putting towards other things, and what percentage of it? Like 40% of the U.S. food supply is wasted each year, right? You have 220 pounds per person is what's wasted annually. And we have another website as well with all of this information. I've chosen another one. This one has a reliable source at the bottom. Sources are listed. Where are the sources? The sources are down here. The Environmental Protection Agency, the U.S. Department of Agriculture, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, all of these which are reliable resources. And I move on to the FDA, where it talks about the same 30 to 40%. So there starts to seem some resemblance of some similarities in our statistics for these different websites, just to make sure that they're correct, because you don't want to get statistics from a website and then be outdated or wrong. You need to have the most recent, and this is also from 2010, but it's all updated, and we use 30 to 40%. So in 2010, we used $161 billion worth of food in 2010. And it also goes on to talk about how we can increase it and what we can do ourselves, what the EPA says, what the USDA says, different from different governments, what the FDA themselves say, and how to cut on food and waste. And the tips, maybe. Try and get some background, because to write a research paper, you need to be an expert on the topic and know what can be done about the issue and really why the issue is arising. Next, I went to Rubicon, another website, where it tells us again how much food is wasted in America. 450,000 Statue of Liberties. Having a statistic like that is always good to be able to kind of imagine it more yourselves and put it more in its perspective, because somebody can say, oh, we use, first line, 103 million tons. Slash 81.4 billion pounds, but you can't. It's hard to imagine that. You can't yourself really know how much food that is. So saying it's 450,000 Statue of Liberties is mind-boggling to yourself, because you see really how big the waste is. It goes on between 30 to 40% again, because you want to make sure you're not getting wrong information. And then I go on in my papers, start talking about how much food is wasted and what we need to do and these issues, and using all of these websites. Another one I had, let me go back. Another one I used was from the USDA. And it tells us here about what causes it, do we have a goal, what we're trying to do, because this is all pretty relevant to now, because when you're talking about a topic, it's about what is the issue, what are we doing to solve it, are we doing enough to solve it, and is there enough going on to save it. So here's the hierarchy. It starts off at the source. You feed the people, then the animals, and then it just goes away. But there's a lot more to it, because more and more gets lost every single year inside it. It says here 5% is lost during processing and packaging, and 9.5% lost at the distribution and retail level, and 33% lost at the consumer level. So there's a lot of food lost that we could account for and help feed those people that truly need it, and to be able to use the food in the right way instead of using it the way we are now while wasting 30 to 40%. It's a pretty large margin, considering 60%, and there's 54 million people, something around there, who are food insecure. 54 to 84 million, big number, but there's a good amount of people who are food insecure. And then you got to think about, well, how is it affecting other people? Is it affecting the higher ups? Is it affecting the retail chains? Who is it affecting at the down low level is the question. And I don't really know yet, which is why I need to do some more reading, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. I feel like it's good right now to just get some background on it, kind of put the facts in front of me to be able to sort through it all, because I'm going to be looking at 8 or 9 different resources. So I got to be able to sort through all of it and find the good information and find the not so good information. This is kind of where I'm at right now. I mean, in here, my paper, I talk about how much we waste, my sources, my thought process, and then I have the annotated bib for the draft. And I mean, they're right when it says, well, rotting food causes harm to our environment after it is wasted. Allowing perfectly good food to go to waste is wasteful because it could be used on other people, given to homeless shelters instead of being thrown away. It's a really, really big issue in today's society. Like, I know Dunkin' Donuts throws away a lot of their donuts every single day, and I understand it's donuts. They're not good for you. They're not the best for you. But it's still food to people who can't afford it. Those people can't afford donuts. They're not worried about what they're eating. They're worried about eating in general. So that's kind of my thought process throughout all of this. And I'm excited to work more on it and figure out where all this food is going and how we can solve it.